Today we're going to talk about bending resin so that we can make some really cool bowls like this. I'll walk you through how to do it with just 4 simple steps. But a bowl like this is kind of small scale. We want to start here, but can we take it to an extreme? Let's give it a shot. Real quick, if you like this video, at the end of it, hit that thumb for me. And if you like content like this and want to learn other cool things that we do here or that you can do with these materials, go ahead and hit subscribe for me. Now, before we jump all the way over here to the big scale, we want to start with the small scale and learn the basic concepts that we're working with here. There's 4 steps and we'll go through them each time, but let's go over them real fast now. That's prep, pour, test, and bend. All right, first step is prep. And prep for this is actually similar to what you've done before, but maybe a little bit different. What we're gonna do is grab a cutting mat or at least work on a surface that we're comfortable maybe scoring with a knife at some point. We're gonna get some medium weight plastic and we're gonna stretch that plastic out. We're gonna tape corners or tape sides and give some tension on that plastic. We want a smooth surface here. That's actually very critical to make sure that our bowl looks nice and beautiful and shiny once it's finished. If you don't pull that plastic really tight, you'll end up with creases in the material itself and it just won't look good. All right, step 2 is actually pour. So for this, we're gonna use our amazing clear cast epoxy and mix up about 4 ounces. If you wanna learn how to mix epoxy properly, check out this video up here and take your time with this. Learn how to do this. This is a critical step when you're mixing up epoxy. To add some interest, I'm gonna use our Violet Pearl Metallic Powder. You've kind of already seen it because I've been holding this bowl up, but it's really cool. It really plays with the light in a fun way. If you've never tried it before, you should try some of our mica powders. They're really cool. I'm just gonna pour right into the middle of the plastic. It'll form a nice concentric 1/8 inch thick flat circle because epoxy is self-leveling. We're gonna let it kind of spread its way out over the course of an hour or so, and then come back for phase 3, testing. This is a very, very critical moment here. In order for this whole thing to work, we need our resin to be in a certain state. We need it to be pliable and bendable and soft, but not gooey and unbelievably sticky and unworkable. This is going to depend on the ambient temperature in your space, how much material that you use. There's a lot of factors. But what I would do if I were you is I'd start checking at about the 3-hour mark. Just grab a stick, touch the edge of the epoxy, and see if it pulls string or if it just kind of removes quickly. You can also start to use a gloved hand to see if you're leaving fingerprints, to see if it's sticking to you as well. What you're looking for is you're looking for a state where you can press it with your hands, but also not get stuck to the material. That will allow you to actually use it and bend it and get the shape you want when we move on to the next step, bending. All you're gonna do is cut a circle in that plastic around the actual pour that you have. Then we're gonna lift off that gooey pancake, grab a bowl or a bucket, and drape it over the bottom. We want that plastic to stay there because that's what's gonna release it from the bowl itself. Now, once you've got it on top of that bowl or bucket, you can use a gloved hand to shape it a little bit. The epoxy is naturally gonna find its own way around and give you a really organic shape. That's really cool. I like to just stick to what it does naturally, but if you wanna adjust it, give it some love. We'll let it sit overnight, come back the next day, then we should be able to remove it from the bucket and peel the plastic out to see our finished and final bowl. I mean, look, this is pretty great. It's organic, it's unique, it's kind of cool. You could put keys and wallets in there, rubber bands. I mean, shoot, you can put penguins in there if you want to. Here's the thing though, this is cool, I love this, but we can't stop there. We gotta push it. We gotta see how far we can take this. I mean, let's be honest, you saw the thumbnail. You saw it sitting here before. We're gonna take this to the extreme. So we're gonna follow our same 4-step process. We're just gonna do everything on a bigger scale. That means I'm gonna need a little bit of help from my friends, but I think it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna do 2 things. Number 1 is we're gonna use 2 sheets of plywood as our base. We've leveled them off so we know our epoxy is gonna spread out evenly over an area that we feel comfortable with. The second thing is I need a bowl or a bucket that's gonna be a good size. For this, I just use one of my countertop stools from home that's about 24 inches high. Now there's a lot more taping on this side of the prep. That means we need to tack down, pull our plastic, and then tack down the other side. You really want to go around and stretch this stuff out until you get all the wrinkles out that you can. Now for the pour, Steven and I are gonna mix up about 5 liters of epoxy. It's a lot of epoxy, but you need that much in order to get something this size with this cool effect. To add a little special sauce, we're gonna use one of our flow dyes. Those are our fluorescent dyes, so that you can see how cool and interesting and shiny and beautiful and translucent and cloth-like this thing really looks. This is cool. I mean, like, that's what I'm excited about. If you've got the space, y'all, you should give this one a go. We're gonna pour it in the middle. I'll spread it out a little bit, kind of coax it along to make sure it's going the directions that I want it to. Give it a quick torch to remove any extra air, and then we let it sit. Come back in about 3 to 4 hours for phase 3, which is testing. Same methodology. After about 3 hours, we went ahead, touched it with a stick to see how tacky it was, and it was still a little too stringy and gummy and gooey for what we want. So we came back and at the 4-hour mark, found the actual texture that we needed. And there's something we have to do critically before we actually bend this one that we didn't have to do on the smaller one. For this one, because it's so much material in a circle, draping over such a tall and narrow object, we're actually gonna need to put a few cuts into this material. If I didn't cut this material, it would start to push against itself and it'd end up with a really blobby looking, poorly standing, circular kind of, it just looks really bad. Maybe, yeah, I'll go get the bad one that I did so you can see. Hold on. See what I mean? It's not great. I've got Joe and Steven here to help me actually place this over the stool, and then Taylor's gone ahead and put the stool underneath of us so we can go ahead and bend it. Now what I'll do is keep my eyes on center. I'm gonna focus on the center of this pour, and then we're just gonna slowly lay it down over top of the stool and let it find its way. Now because I've got gloved hands on and it's at that perfect point, I can go ahead and work the material a little bit to try to put in some of those natural cloth-like looking ripples. And those reliefs are a huge help right now. I can use those to bend things more aggressively and get a beautiful looking finish. All right. High stress, high stakes, it's super warm in the shop, but we're done. We'll come back tomorrow, take this chair out of there, get rid of the plastic, and see what we got. There you go. This turned out like surprisingly well. I really like this one. I've done a few. This was one of them that I did a couple times ago. If you like this video, please like this video and go try it. Try the small scale first if you're nervous about doing something this big. I want to know though in the comments, does this actually look like cloth to you? Is this tricking your brain a little bit? Now this is the size that I did. It's about 5 liters, but I want to know if somebody out there is willing to do something even bigger. I mean, how big can this really go? Do you think somebody will do it, Matt, or do you think they'll just chicken out? Y'all gonna chicken out on me? Somebody try to top me here. I did 5 liters. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for sticking with us on this one. It was a good time. I'll see you next time.